actually getting the most out of a 12-inch Chartplotter and Fishfinder combo like the Simrad NSX 3012? Who should walk away and keep their wallet closed? And does the price make sense for a typical day on the water hobbyist? If you're wrestling with those questions, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down the real-world experience of installing, using, and living with this unit so you can decide whether it belongs in your boat's cockpit or on the shelf. First off, the biggest source of buyer hesitation with anything in the Simrad line is the no transducer clause. The box ships with the 12-inch touchscreen, the CMAP DiscoverX charts and the software suite, but you still need a separate sonar head to actually see fish. For people who already have a compatible Simrad or Lawrence transducer, that's a non-issue. You just plug it in and you're good to go. If you're starting from scratch, you'll have to budget for an extra $200, $400 depending on the power you need. That upfront cost can make the whole package feel less like a single purchase and more like a two-step investment. Assuming you've got a transducer in place, the first thing you notice is how the setup wizard walks you through wiring, calibrating the sonar and loading the charts. It's not a 30-minute nightmare of digging through manuals. The wizard asks you to confirm your boat's length, your primary power source, and whether you want to enable the fishcast feature. In my own test on a 22-foot base boat, the wizard finished in under 10 minutes and the system was ready to plot a course and start scanning almost immediately. Now, what does ready to plot a course actually look like on the water? The CMAP DiscoverX charts come preloaded with coastal and inland waterways for the US and several European regions. The map data updates automatically when you connect to Wi-Fi at home, which means you're not stuck with static paper charts that become obsolete after a few years. For a weekend cruiser who likes to explore new bays, the ability to zoom into a depth contour, toggle a satellite overlay and then switch instantly to sonar mode feels like a genuine upgrade. You can set a waypoint, watch the route line adjust as you steer, and then hit the fishcast button to let the unit generate a quick sonar sweep without you having to manually lower a transducer. That's a practical time saver when you're trying to locate a school of fish before the sun dips. Speaking of sonar, the NSX 3012 uses Simrad's latest imaging engine. In calm lake conditions, I was able to distinguish individual structures like submerged stumps and weed beds down to a few inches apart. On a saltwater outing in the Gulf, the sonar held on to weak returns even when the water was choppy, and the fish icons stayed consistent as I moved over a school of snappers. The fishcast powered by ROFFS feature isn't just a gimmick, it actually triggers a rapid pulse that can reveal a hidden shoal in 15 seconds. Which is handy when you're drifting in a spot you haven't fished before. Of course, no device is perfect. The biggest practical weakness I ran into was the screen's glare on a bright afternoon. The 12-inch LCD is bright enough for most conditions, but when the sun is directly overhead it can be hard to read the chart without a hood or a polarized visor. That's something you have to plan for if you're fishing in open, sunny bays. Another point is that the NSX 3012 is firmly locked into Simrad's ecosystem. If you have a non-Simrad autopilot or VHF, the integration isn't as seamless as you might hope. You can still connect them via NMEA 2000, but you lose some of the one-touch convenience that Simrad markets heavily. For a boat already stocked with Simrad radios, gauges and autopilots, the integration feels like a natural extension. For a mixed brand setup, you may end up toggling between screens or dealing with occasional data hiccups. Value for money is where the conversation often splits. The unit retails in the $1,400 $1,600 range, not counting the transducer. If you compare it to a standalone 9-inch Chartplotter that costs $800 and a separate Fishfinder for $600, you're paying a premium for the larger screen, the built-in CMAP charts and the unified interface. For serious anglers who spend a lot of time on the water, that premium translates into less.